She tore up our wedding completely.
You said she tore up your wedding?
Yeah, okay. I've been knowing Jasmine right here. We've been 5 years now. We've been going on for 5 years. We was dating. We met online. Everything was cool. We was cool. We was a cool couple. I had little problems. We had our marital fixes, and we fixed it, and we fixed our problems.
Wait, married? Were you married to this woman?
No, we're not married to her. We was engaged to her. I engaged myself to her. I wanted to marry.
You proposed, sir?
Yes, I did.
You proposed, and y'all were engaged?
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be one of them cases. Okay, so y'all were engaged. Y'all were dating and engaged for 5 years total.
Yes.
And then what happened, sir?
Back and forth for going to Atlanta on my job, I met Sarah.
Oh, okay.
I met Sarah.
So you met another woman.
I did.
Okay, and then you got in a relationship with Sarah here.
Yeah, I did. I kept the relationship away from Jasmine. Jasmine didn't know nothing about it. I kept this, away from
okay.
Jasmine. And Sarah together.
So neither one of you ladies knew about the other?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, thank you for your honesty in here today, sir, but I think that the ladies would have appreciated more honesty from you when they were dealing with you. Yes. But at any rate, when did you find out, ma'am, that he was seeing Sarah?
When I crashed the wedding, Your Honor. Honestly.
So you had no idea he was even in a whole nother relationship?
No idea.
Did you think that you and him were still together?
Yes.
So this is news to her, sir?
Yes.
How did you find out, ma'am?
We met online and we were together for 5 years. And on that second year, he cheated with a coworker. So that was the first time.
One of his coworkers?
One of his coworkers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you forgave him?
Allegedly.
Okay.
I forgave him. We went through counseling. I went through therapy. And I said, I'm going to forgive him. And third year, he proposes.
Okay.
I say yes. And by our fourth year, we started to have a little bit more difficulty with our communication.
Did y'all ever set a wedding date, ma'am?
No, we did not. That should have been, we were engaged for 2 years.
I was going to say, that should have been an indicator or a so-called red flag.
Yeah.
But anyways, y'all continue to hobble along in this relationship for another year.
Right.
And you get to year 5.
Yes.
And tell me how you finally find out that he's in a whole nother relationship, ma'am.
So we got into an argument, and at the time, he did not...
Well, that tends to happen when people are cheating.
He didn't clean up his stuff, toilet, tissue, all the things, right? And so I decided, let me go ahead and confront him. Hey, babe, can you just clean up after yourself? I'm working, you're working, we're both busy, all that. And
so y'all were living together?
We were living together for 5 years, right. We were engaged. He let me believe that we were still about to have this wedding. And he got upset, as he usually does. This is a pattern. And he stormed out because I asked him to clean up behind himself. And when he stormed out...
Well, that's not actually why he stormed out, but go ahead. Right. Okay, go ahead, though, ma'am.
He stormed out, and I thought he was going to be... reaching out by a day, maybe 2, but this time it was a little longer. But on day 3, I heard some dinging in the bedroom. Turns out he left his iPad on his dresser.
Okay. And the cloud said everything we needed to know.
And in that iPad is wedding photos, a venue with a woman named Sarah. And I'm looking at the thing like, it says Marcus. And I'm like, not my Marcus, because we're getting married.
Now what other Marcus iPad gonna be in your house?
I don't know. I was in disbelief. I don't know. Maybe because, we were already in an argument. He left. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So it says that they're getting married that weekend.
So do you have evidence so the court can see what you saw?
So I just have text messages from when he was leading me to believe that we were still together. I was still planning the wedding. We were still together. We didn't break up. And so while I'm looking at these photos and the venue, I decided to go ahead and book my flight to Atlanta because that's where they were getting married.
So, and you found all this out from the iPad?
I found all of that out on the iPad.
She can't wait to Atlanta.
She needed to see her fiancé, sir, which would be...
The truth has a way of revealing itself. So, why do some people cheat instead of ending their relationship first? Ending a relationship requires having a difficult conversation, and cheating delays that conversation. Some people, they try to hold on to security of one relationship while exploring another instead of making a clear decision. And we have others who avoid ending any relationship because they don't want to deal with the guilt, the conflict, or the consequences. But cheating often creates more pain than the honest conversation someone was trying to avoid in the first place. The The hardest conversation is also the kindest one because it gives people the chance to move forward honestly. However, that requires integrity because integrity is making one decision instead of trying to live two different lives, where cheating often allows one person to keep all their options open while everyone else loses theirs. Having self-respect and respect for the other person is so key because it's reflected through how you treat someone while you're in love. It's also reflected in how you leave when you're no longer in love. While the truth may be difficult, it's almost always less painful than the lie. Let's keep going.
You do end up setting a date. So you planned to marry and intended to marry. I'm talking now, Mrs. Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any intention of at least telling this woman before you got married to another woman that you were no longer interested in being with her?
I was.
No.
When were you going to get to? When were you going to get to?
I was
sir?
trying to run from it. I was just. I mean, it was.
So
I had such good.
wait. Well, I hear you saying, Mr. Taylor, that your intention was essentially to ghost your own live-in fiance and literally just run away and marry a new woman.
I wasn't going to ghost anybody.
Well, you said you wanted to just run away from it.
No, I wasn't running away. I still paid bills there. I was still.
So you were going to live a double life.
Going home. It was a double life.
You went a double life.
Too.
Okay, so hold on, Miss Lee. Mrs. Sarah Taylor, how do you feel about hearing your lawfully wedded husband say that he intended to essentially have two wives?
I feel like a lot of times I make impulsive decisions when I'm in different emotional states. And I will leave it at that, Your Honor.
And you seem a little bit younger than him, too.
Yes.
Y'all have an age gap.
We do.
Yes.
We met at a bar.
Were you old enough to be in the bar?
I was, ma'am.
But barely. You little cute baby face. What's the age difference between y'all? 20 years?
Yes, ma'am.
25?
Not that many.
Because you looking a little salt and pepper over there, much like myself, sir. Okay. So let's get to this $10,000, sir. Do you have receipts and evidence to show?
Do.
Okay, give me your whole folder.
Oh,
give
my
your whole.
gosh,
You ain't got to go through it, sir.
Okay,
Give the whole
here
folder
you
to
go.
Elijah.
Thank you.
I will go through each piece myself because I don't know that I can trust you. I have to look through it myself.
I'm trustworthy.
Well, I can't tell.
I'm not lying. I'm just not telling all of it.
All right, hold
That's
on.
why we're here.
I see a bill for a cake. This is the wedding cake that you two had at your wedding.
Yeah.
Yes,
This
Your
was
Honor.
almost $1,000, $945. Okay. Stunning venue. Let's look at this tablescape. I mean, this was a beautiful wedding that you two, I guess, were supposed to have.
It would have been nice.
These, nice black tie chairs and ribbons. And I mean, this is really nice. This is a really chandeliers. Okay. Now it's looking
destroyed everything.
not so nice. This is, I see the food and everything is slaughtered everywhere. So this is the $1,000 cake knocked over.
Yes, Your Honor. And I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, okay, hold on. I see also, looks like the food buffet and everything.
That was the first thing that she went to.
And did.
Okay. And then it looks like whatever flatware and china and everything y'all were supposed to eat on has been literally shattered.
Yes.
So this is all your work.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't feel any way about it.
Not a way.
Okay. So this is a result of your anger?
This is his thing. If he was honest and could have clearly communicated, I wouldn't even been in Atlanta. I wouldn't have to.
So you wouldn't have came if I told you I was marrying her?
Mr. Taylor, I'll be asking the questions here. Your time to ask is over. You could have asked all these questions at home, actually. But now you're in my courtroom, so here we go. Miss Lee, let me ask you, because it's important before I make a judgment. Because $10,000 is on the line. I think that what this man has done to you is despicable. I think what he's done to you is despicable too, young lady, but that's on you to decide. However, Miss Lee, I do need to decide whether or not you are legally responsible, because you're admitting, which I appreciate the honesty, that the damage is a result of your actions. That you, took a sledgehammer, it looks like, to the whole daggone thing and destroyed this wedding. Now, y'all got married anyway, clearly.
Yes.
We did.
But certainly your displeasure was seen and heard, right?
Yes.
Okay. But as I've already said to you, Mr. Taylor, you absolutely set all of this in motion with your lies, your deceit, your manipulation, okay? You wanted to make yourself happy on both ends. You wanted her and you wanted her. And if you could have gotten away with it longer, you would still be dealing with a married man, just not your husband. Ain't that a trip?
Would it be?
And it is only, sir, because the iPad told on you that we are here today, finally, with the truth. So I know that you're hurt and devastated, Ms. Lee. I know that you are, but you should be very grateful, my sister, that the technology glitches of the world and the universe and God above were looking out for you, because you could really have ended up in something really, really horrible.
People don't always fight because the person is valuable. Sometimes they're fighting because of how much they have invested. The more the emotional investment, the harder it can be to let go, which might be why the wife would stay after hearing her husband's testimony. She probably feels, after making such a major commitment, that it would be emotionally and psychologically difficult to leave, even with the new information. So while it may seem obvious to us because we're on the outside, it can feel very different to the person living through it. This is why it's so important not to ignore red flags in dating. Unfortunately, we tend to give more weight to information that confirms what we already believe as opposed to information that challenges it. So the more emotionally invested we become, the easier it can be to explain away warning signs instead of reevaluating the relationship. We naturally want to believe the best about the people we care about. Recognizing red flags often means accepting a difficult reality, and people don't always want to do that immediately. So let's find out the verdict.
Now, as it relates to this $10,000, I already told you, you are responsible for this damage. However, there is something in the law called provocation that says I get to reduce your judgment amount in proportion to just how much I think you actively provoked this woman's anger and rage, which ultimately led to the destruction. And I'm just going to take a stab and say that this is worth at least half of your heartache. So therefore, I know that you've spent $10,000, sir. Yeah. You're only going to, you know what? I don't even think it's worth half. I think that she's going to give you $2,500, and the other 75% of this, you more than brought on yourself. So I do rule in favor of the plaintiff, but only for $2,500. The rest of it, sir, you can eat it.
Yeah. You would think the heart of this case was infidelity, but I believe it was the loss of informed choice, because neither woman had the information she needed to make decisions about her own life. And every person deserves the truth so that they can decide what future they want to build. So the moral of the story, never sacrifice your standards to keep someone who won't respect them. Let's do better by recognizing red flags before they become regrets. Now, my final question for you. Would you have crashed that wedding? Let me know. Put it in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.